Peter Thomas Fornatal back with you for a special edition of the In the Money Players podcast with our returning sponsors. Very excited once again in 2025 to be working with our friends over at Sport of Kings. Going to be hearing a lot about their diverse program, their interest in the business over the next few months on this show. We're going to talk a little bit about investing in the partnership. We're also going to talk about a loaded Saturday of racing where they've got, I think it's 6 runners in across 5 different racetracks. Not bad stuff. Pretty exciting to be competing on one of the biggest stages at the Pegasus. We'll get to talk about all those races with our friend Michael Karras from Sport of Kings. Michael, how are things?
Doing well, Pete. How are you, most importantly? How are you
great.
feeling?
I've been feeling great. I've gotten some great health news. I am sitting out the trip to Florida not because of health reasons, but because I'm actually going to be on TV covering it. But happy to hear that you're safely ensconced down there in South Florida. The weather's looking good for tomorrow. How's it? What are the vibes like down there?
Electric. A lot of people in town, tons of people coming up to us. Last night we were having dinner and just a great vibe. People are just fired up, ready for a great day of racing, and couldn't be more excited to be down here. Unfortunately, it's 53 degrees and cloudy today, and it's not going to get up to 54. So. Maybe
the sun is going to poke through tomorrow, though. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, tomorrow looks sunny, around 70, so perfect conditions. I like we have Coppola running obviously tomorrow in race 5. And I think a little bit of, it's been so cold and damp down here that there seems to be some moisture on that turf course, which I think will help him as far as some added speed to tomorrow's race. So
we're going to get to that race in a minute and all the races you're in on Saturday. But I did want to take an opportunity to zoom out for a second, Michael, and talk about the opportunities to invest. I know you're going to be very busy at the upcoming 2-year-old sales. There's going to be opportunities for people to get involved with 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds, always fun. Don't have to deal with the same amount of waiting you do in some corners of the industry. But tell us a little bit about Sport of Kings partnership and what opportunities you have coming up.
Well, fortunately, we were fortunate enough to pick up 14 yearlings this year and turn them into 2-year-old pin hooks. And we'll be selling at OBS, both sales, and we'll also be buying. We couldn't be more excited about this group. Muhammad, once again, has outdone himself. He's just got this uncanny ability to be able to feel, touch, look at horses, and just have such a fantastic instinct. Like watching him at these sales, watching the way he does his business. I mean, it's truly remarkable to watch and see and be around. And I'm fortunate enough to have him, and he keeps picking out these great horses. Last year, we have Tough Cats. We had 80 West. We've got 2 pairs of socks that won last week. So it's all from him.
Muhammad Mubarak has a rich history in the game, has raced at the highest levels, won at the highest levels. He's the racing manager for Sport of Kings, helping make a lot of these decisions. And some of these 2-year-olds that are going to be available, his watchful eye, they'll been picked out by him. Folks looking to learn more, to get in touch, SoKRacing.com. That's the website. I think it's fair to say right now, Michael, the stable star is Coppola, going in this race at Gulfstream on the sprint, the turf sprint, race number 5 on Saturday. This is a horse we've talked about a lot before. I've always been of the belief, just from a handicapping point of view, that the key to him is the flat 5 furlongs. He's acquitted himself so well when he gets to go 5, and he gets to do that on Saturday. Not going to be easy. Plenty of speed signed on, but he looks the best speed to me. I'm excited about his chances. But before we get into the race and the dynamics of the race, how's he just doing, generally speaking, as an individual?
Well, it's funny you say that, because we did a little procedure on Coppola before his last race, and you can see how that turned out. It seemed to just straighten his head up, and he was all business and took in a lot of air through the lungs, was able to make that turn that just he loses ground on so many times. And we couldn't be more excited about how he's doing, because that's the number one thing, how he is. And, he doesn't have that noise that was generating, when he was coming on the front side of the track. And he's just been a different horse. Tammy, Dale's significant other, rides him every day, and she's got thumbs up, and she couldn't be happier. And it just seems like between that little procedure and maybe him just getting a little bit older and tired of losing by necks and heads and all kinds of stuff. Because if you add them up, this horse would be a $2 million horse if you add all the heads together, when he couldn't get in the money, or, didn't hit the board. But yeah, he's ready to go, and we're happy. And I like that turf course being a little bit on the little bit of moisture in it, helps speed it up a little bit, which I think it will help him. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough race. There's, they're never going to be easy at this level. Obviously, Nobles, is Nobles. Not sure he loves this distance. He's more of a closer, likes to go 6.5, which, we're not a big fan of. So it might be our time, to get him. But there's a lot in here, Pete.
It's not going to be an easy race in terms of the competition signed on, but it's great to hear how well he's doing. And that breathing exercise is really interesting. That makes me think, hey, maybe that 5.5 won't seem so long, a little bit longer down the line. In terms of other horses, you are, maybe main danger types to him. Noble's obviously Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint champion. That form is obvious. Anybody else in here who's caught your eye as far as one that you're going to have a little bit of an extra eye on during the running here?
Well, I think the key to the race is us getting to the lead and, getting to the front and getting on the front end. The problem's going to be from the closers, which I think Nobles might have to get going a little bit earlier than he might want to, depending on how fast we're going. It depends on how he's going to position himself. But I think Nobles has to be like my top concern in this race. I like Coppola, and not only because he's, our pride and joy, but just because he really fits well here and how well he's doing. And we get Tyler on him too, which has been a nice change for Coppola. He's got one of the best riders in the country on him. They seem to be clicking pretty well, and Tyler, he's pretty aggressive. So I think their styles kind of suit each other.
I would agree with that, and I'm very excited to see how Coppola gets on for Sport of Kings partners at Gulfstream's big day tomorrow on Saturday. For much more, again, check out SoKRacing.com. While we have you, Michael, we got to go through some of these other races you guys are involved in on Saturday. Let's go to New York, down the road here, New York City's racetrack, Aqueduct, where you've got an entry in the first race. Tell me about these two horses, Olympic Dreams and Gun It.
All right. Well, Olympic Dreams, has had a stellar career. He's made over $420,000. Hard-running horse. Got into some trouble in the last race. We're going to kind of put a line through that one just because, the jockey didn't want to, ride him hard. The race was over. We're kind of saving him for this race right here. So Olympic Dreams could cause some problems coming for home. We also have, as part of our entry, we also have Gun It. Now, Gun It likes the slop very much so. Looks like he's going to get a fast track tomorrow, so that won't help him much that way. But Gun It is a hard-knocking horse. He's coming off of a big win, 87 buyer last time out. He beat Legacy. He beat Ridgewood Runner, which are fantastic horses.
Good form.
Carlos Martin's got Ridgewood Runner, and he's got that horse clicking. And so we were pretty happy with, the last race. He won by 3 lengths. But this race has a lot in it. Fenelon's Fog. I mean, it's got to be your favorite. I mean, it's got speed. It could do it all. It's won 3 races in a row. Last race won by 8 lengths. So, we got to be worried about that. Film Star with Linda Rice. hard knocking horse. Runs and just runs on anything and likes to win. So there's a lot of. This is not going to be an easy race by any stretch of the imagination.
You got another one in race number 7 at Aqueduct Maiden, claiming fillies, but this one certainly goes with a chance. You've got Giants Audible in here. This one was previously with Rudy Rodriguez, now with the Connor Mosseys, who do such a great job. How did you get involved with Giants Audible?
Well, Giants Audible was purchased last year at the OBS sale, and he was in the good hands of Rudy Rodriguez, and we just decided it was time for a little trainer move, and we put him over to Kent Mosseys. As you know, we work a lot with Ilkay, who is doing phenomenal. Shout out to Ilkay. I mean, he's tearing it up over there. We had a winner yesterday with Ilkay on Bold Endeavor. I think he's at probably 20% right now, and he's really clicking on all cylinders. And we love working with him. It's a great outfit, good family, hardworking. I'll be honest. If I go in there, if I speak to him 3 times a week, he's in the barn every time I talk to him. So.
It's good to have somebody like that on side, so many hard-working horsemen, and I know you guys work with a bunch of great ones. We got a couple other races to talk about, and it's one thing that I like about Sport of Kings, and this array of horses demonstrates it. You got runners in all over the country, wherever you are. If you want to get involved in Sport of Kings, you got an opportunity to see your horse run at a racetrack near you. Next, we'll head down to New Orleans and Fairgrounds for a very interesting runner that we haven't talked about at all off air. So I'm curious to get the inside scoop from you about Rare Ruby, this first-time starter for Dallas Stewart, who we've had on the airwaves with you before. Bought this one for just under $50,000 at the OBS open sale last year. What can you tell me about Rare Ruby?
Well, Rare Ruby, Rare Ruby is going to be tough in this spot. This looks like a good spot for Rare Ruby. Has some good works. Dallas, gets them going. First-time starters, 8 to 10%. Expect Rare Ruby to be right at the front or close to the front. Has some nice speed. Dallas has just been real positive about this horse. I think it's time that Rare Ruby is ready to get it done tomorrow in race 5 at the fairgrounds. Peppermint Bites is an interesting horse. Brad Cox has one in there. So, you're going to be, these guys are always going to have their horses ready. So it'll be a challenge. But we like Rare Ruby's chances in this race. There are a lot of first-time starters in this race, so you know how that can get a little tricky.
Yep.
But we just want to stay out of traffic, try and get a good run in coming towards that stretch, and hopefully come get the money, which is the goal here.
I like the sound of it. And Dallas Stewart, obviously very much capable of winning first time out, as you point out, but also somebody who brings them along and they'll continue to get improvement. So one that I'm going to be watching with the expectation is just going to continue to improve under his care. He does such a good job of getting horses to finish their races. And obviously that's something that I'm expecting to see from Rare Ruby. Yeah. Let's head out west to Santa Anita, the great race place where you've got one in race number 5, number 7, Into It, who I thought had a little bit of a long shot look for Rick Dutrow. Not the most straightforward form in the world, but bits and bobs, has shown some talent at times and is, back doing something on the West Coast that maybe has been what Into It wanted to do all along. Any insight into It?
Into It is a horse that Rick Dutrow loves. Rick has loved this horse since the day we got him, and you're right. The lines are kind of choppy, with the 6 furlongs and then the mile and a 16th and so on and so forth. But the one thing about Into It, he's a real steady horse. His buyer numbers range anywhere from 82, 77, high 70s, low 80s, consistently going to give you that kind of a race. Rick likes him on this turf course. This obviously is a very difficult race to handicap. There's a lot of quality horses in here for the 50, And so my Irish Royalty sticks out to me, just coming off of a very impressive win over at LRC and he won by a length and a quarter. And he even swung out wide. He bobbled, and he still pulled it off. This might be a horse that's kind of coming into form. I'd be a little bit concerned about him. Obviously, Noble Reflection, high speed numbers. Is coming off a win by 3 lengths at Santa Anita. So there's going to be some stiff competition in here. We're going to be a long shot for a reason. It's going to be tough to win here. There's no question about it. No question.
Not the easiest spot, but again, one I'm certainly going to be putting into gimmicks at what might be double-digit odds. So it's a lot of different runners you have. All eyes on South Florida and Coppola, hoping to get you some more stake success. What a cool horse he's been. And Michael, been a blast getting a chance to talk to you. We'll plug the website one more time, SoKRacing.com. We'll have you back on soon. I love these stable rundowns. It's also fun just to get you handicapping on these shows, talking about all manner of races. That's another fun thing about if you were to get involved with SOK Racing. You're dealing with people who are, you got a proper horse player helping call the shots there, Michael, with you. So I wish you the best of luck on Saturday and look forward to chatting again soon.
Yes, you stay well and put on a jacket, buddy. It's cold up there.
It is chilly in here. Good idea.
Awesome.
Talk to you soon, my friend.
All right. Take care, Pete. Thanks, buddy.